France slams the United Kingdom over fishing access to protect habitants in British water. I'm going to read into this story more from the Financial Times, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from the Financial Times with the headline of France slams the UK over its fishing access to protect habitants in British water. Paris presses the European Commission to take action after trawlers' fleet have been banned from 13 areas. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share across social media so others are notified of this video. An interesting one to come from Financial Times. I've not seen this story anywhere else, but the very fact that once again UK finds itself in crossfires with the French over fishing waters, and this is something that there's been discussions and been articles about in the past, obviously. So I haven't heard anything obviously since until today. And I don't think I've actually directly covered a story with regards to the fishing rights on my channel, at least not that I can recall. But there needs to be concessions. Obviously, concessions that need to be made. And obviously, the trade and cooperation agreement that was made between the EU and the UK, obviously over these fishing areas, needs to be abided by. And potentially what we're looking at here is perhaps the UK have not been abiding by their parts of this agreement, and I think this is one of the issues that are here, which could end up leading to the United Kingdom facing some kinds of fines, which guess who will be paying? Yes, that's right, you British taxpayers, if we are found to have been breaching the agreements that we had in place when we signed the Trade and Cooperation Agreement with the EU, the TCA, when we left the European Union. And I think that's very important to remind ourselves of that. So let's read a little bit more into this, guys, shall we? So France has launched a dispute with the United Kingdom over fishing rights after its trawlers were banned from some British waters to protect vulnerable habitants. French diplomats raised the issue at a meeting of EU ministers on March the 19th, and officials from the European Commission, which enforces fishery and trade measures, will meet UK counterparts on Monday. So that's today. So there'll be an update on this after today. I'm recording this on Monday, but you'll see it on a different day most likely. Paris has asked the EU to determine if London's moves breach the post-trade and cooperation agreement, which could lead to punishment measures against Britain. The UK last month banned bottom trawling, which involves dragging heavy nets along the seafloor in 13 protected areas within its territorial waters. That applies to British and French vessels which have long fished in the area. Trawlers from Boulogne in France depend on the waters for much of their catch, and far-right politicians have been quick to embrace their cause, with the Rassemblement National accusing the UK of taking an axe to French fishing industry. A diplomatic showdown must be launched immediately. The survival of the entire profession depends on it, its regional party in northern France posted on X. President Emmanuel Macron's party is trailing the RN in the European Parliament elections that will take place in June, raising pressure on him to defend the influential fishing lobby. Europe's Minister Jean-Noël Barrot travelled to Boulogne in late March and said France would restrict the arbitrary decision by the United Kingdom and would ask the EU to take retaliatory measures. The TCA handed the UK control of its territorial waters, but EU boats retain much of their access to their traditional fishing grounds with them. The 13 marine protected areas covers approximately 4,000 square kilometres and includes rare reef and rock habitats. So, as a reminder here, obviously parts of the TCA said there were still parts of the British waters that we own, that we did agree fishing grounds with them. So that's important. But where exactly the specifics, I'm not 100% sure. But that's a very important point to highlight there. So the dispute is the second clash this year over maritime convention measures. In February, Denmark and Sweden demanded that commissions take action against the UK after it closed part of the Dozser Bank in the North Sea to protect seabirds. Fishing NGOs support the UK's decision. Claire Novon, the French conservative group Bloom, said The monarchist right, the far right, and the conservative right have once again decided to rescue the trawlers lobby and work against the interests of civilians by ignoring the unprecedented ecological and social issues of our time. She added that her organisation encouraged the UK not to give to French injunctions to defend the last defensible fishing of the 21st century, trawling. Charles Clover, Chief Executive of the Blue Marine Foundation, a conservation charity in the UK, said the TCA permitted restrictions on fishing provided that they treat all country boats equally. I don't think we're going to have that. There doesn't seem to be the case here from if this is already the second time there's been disputes here. The UK is not only within its rights to prohibit trawling in certain MPAs, it is legally required to. Many of these sites were designated under EU laws that many EU states are not following, he said. He added, there is perhaps a deep irony that the only European country that is even trying to follow the EU Inhabitants Directive at sea is the only country to have left the European Union. The UK government said we are proud of our record on safeguarding our oceans and precious species that depend on them. The recent decisions to prohibit bottom trawling which applies to all vessels, including Britain funds, following extensive consultation with a range of stakeholders, including UK and French fishing organisations. So the French government and European Fishing Commission has been approached for comment. Interesting. So this is an interesting one to say the least, guys. While I don't know too much on the fine details of these things, it does appear like the UK may be having it. The UK may have some arguments here, but I don't think this is going to be the end of arguments between the UK, French, and others around its disputed waters, because the UK, while it has agreed that some of its areas can be allowed fishing from other nations, there at the end of the day, the United Kingdom is not part of the European Union, so it's up to them what they want to do with their waters, and what has been agreed is what has been agreed. It's one that's going to keep talking about for a while, shall we say. Interesting to say the least. But what do you guys think? What do you guys? Maybe some of you who are subscribers, maybe you guys are fisheries, maybe you guys are from French fisheries yourselves, or from other nations that probably have a better understanding of this than I do. What do you guys make of these potentially taking the UK to court, trying to get maybe issue fines and whatnots? What do you guys make of this story? Let me know your thoughts and more in the comment section down below. If you found this informative, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share this across social media so others are notified of this video, and subscribe, because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me in the work I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content there as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to catch you all very, very soon.